of Joe Knows. Today I'm going to reveal my top 3 predictors of sprinting speed. These are 3 things you could use to literally predict whether or not an athlete is fast or slow without ever having watched them sprint, which is pretty cool. This is a topic I have found interesting and fascinating forever. The information I'm going to provide to you is based solely on my personal experience. It's not based on any research study. It's not based on any article I've ever read. This is based on 2 decades worth of training athletes, thousands of athletes, trial, error, collecting data and getting results and just seeing what works, what doesn't, what carries over, what doesn't, and you just learn what are reliable predictors of speed and what aren't. And these 3 things are pretty tried and true. They're as reliable as you are going to get without just going out and timing an athlete actually sprint. So let me share them with you right now. Number 1 is chin-ups. And some of you might be saying, well, how the hell did chin-ups make this list? Chin-ups are an upper body strength exercise, and sprinting relies so heavily on lower body strength and explosive power. And that might be true, but here's the deal with chin-ups. Chin-ups are one of the best measures of relative body strength. How strong are you in relation to your body weight? That is the key with sprinting. And that is what the chin-ups will show. And that's why we all know the big, jacked, strong dude who could bench press the weight room and squat the weight room, but maybe can't perform 1 chin-up. That's the guy that's not the fastest on the team. That might be the strongest, but it's not just all about maximal strength. When it comes to sprinting, relative strength is huge, and that's why chin-ups are so important. And I can tell you at an elite level, and I've done a lot of work with football players, so guys that run 4.4, 40-yard dashes and faster, those are all guys that can easily perform 25 strict chin-ups and more. Most of them even more than that. So to give you an example of, if a guy's doing over 30 chin-ups, over 25 chin-ups, usually somebody that's pretty fast. But there is an exception to the rule. There's always an exception to the rule, so I'm going to mention this before I get it in the comments. I've worked with a lot of high school and college wrestlers. They are the exception to the rule. You will find wrestlers that can perform a lot of chin-ups. Wrestling is obviously a weight class sport, so you have a lot of guys that are very strong in relation to their body weight. So you'll get wrestlers that'll bang out 30 plus chin-ups. But with them, those 30 plus chin-ups don't usually translate to sprinting speed. That's more the exception to the rule, because obviously sprinting is not a skill that is very important with wrestling. So you don't want to watch a wrestler sprint. They are the exception to the rule. But everybody else, 99% of the rest of the population, I can tell you, because I've done this, I've pulled up Excel spreadsheets and I've listed the top 50 chin-up performances in my gym at any given time. And you take the most chin-ups down to the least. And then if we change that list and click 40-yard dash with the fastest 40s to the slowest 40s, that list does not change much. It's crazy. In other words, the guy who does 28 chin-ups is usually faster than the guy who did 19 chin-ups. And the guy that did 19 chin-ups is faster than the guy that did 10 chin-ups. And that pretty much goes down the list. So chin-ups are a very, very good predictor of sprinting speed, with an exception or 2 here or there. Next up is the vertical jump. And why the vertical jump has such a high predictability is because it shows the rate at which an athlete can produce force. You need a high rate of force development in order to jump high. You need a high rate of force development in order to run fast. So you could see the parallel there. And again, using the elite level speed guys, the 4.4 guys and faster, I could tell you, you're looking at guys that are legit 35-inch vertical jump guys and higher. And a lot of those guys are the 40-inch vert plus. We've had quite a few guys legitimately jump over 40 inches. They're all running 4.4 in the 40 and faster, as fast as 4.2. So that's got a high predictability. And then finally, rounding out my top three is a trap bar deadlift, but not just a trap bar deadlift, your trap bar deadlift max / body weight ratio. Again, coming back to how strong are you in the trap bar in relation to your body weight. So the trap bar is great for just increasing your ability to develop force into the ground. And that's what sprinting is. It's force into the ground. I always like to say, keep it sprinting 101, as simple as possible. You could only get faster two different ways. You could improve your stride length, or you could improve your stride frequency. But both of those are byproducts of force into the ground. You need to develop high levels of force into the ground. The trap bar is great for increase in that strength and increase in the amount of force you could drive into the ground with each step during the course of a sprint. But you don't just want to try to keep bumping up your trap bar deadlift weight at the expense of your body weight. You want to get as strong as possible at the lightest possible body weight if running fast is your number one goal. All right, so with our elite guys, we found in that elite crew, most of them are able to trap bar deadlift 3 times their body weight or more. And I do want to make a quick recommendation. If you've never heard of the book or you never read the book, Underground Secrets to Faster Running by Barry Ross, I highly recommend it. It's a thin little paperback, quick, simple read, but he talks a lot about developing strength utilizing the trap bar deadlift and doing a lot of concentric only training and developing strength without putting on body weight. He calls it mass specific force. Again, force in relation to your body weight. The stronger you could get at the lighter body weight, the faster you're going to be. Because even if you put on muscle, you still have gravity pulling down on you throughout the day when you're running your sprint. So the heavier you are, even if it's all muscle, you still have more of a pull into the ground. And with sprinting, we need that horizontal force to propel us forward. And the more vertical force, the more gravity we have pulling us down, the harder it is to propel ourselves forward in space. So it's all about your strength in relation to your body weight. So those are my big 3: chin-ups, vertical jump, trap bar deadlift, max / body weight ratio. Use them, use that information. Don't just take this and say, oh, that's interesting. If you are someone who trains athletes or you're an athlete training in the weight room, if you want to make sure that the strength you're gaining is going to carry over to sprinting speed, periodically check your chin-up reps, periodically check your vertical jump, check trap bar deadlift in relation to your body weight. If those things are improving, the strength you're gaining in the weight room is probably carrying over to sprinting speed. If you're getting stronger in exercises like a bench press, a squat, an overhead press, a power clean, I don't care what it is, you're getting stronger in every exercise you do except your chin-ups, your vertical jump, or your trap bar deadlift body weight ratio gets worse. I don't care about all the other exercises. Chances are the strength that you're developing in the weight room is not going to carry over to sprinting speed. So periodically check them. Make sure those 3 things are improving to make sure you're getting the most out of your workouts. And if they're not, you need to step back. You need to make a change. You need to check out your nutrition. Your diet is obviously huge, but hopefully this information helps. If it did, I appreciate you giving the video a thumbs up. If you have a question that you want me to address on this Joe Knows series, write the question in the comment section. I'm going to be checking those out and doing my best to answer as many as I can on future episodes of Joe Knows. I'll see you next time.